Alright, what's going on, folks? Well, pretty stereotypical with me. One idea evolves into another idea, evolves into another idea, evolves into another idea. And the newest idea is originally I was going to make a paracord stock for this little single shot Sears / Ethica 22. But rather than doing that, I decided I wanted something a little bit classier, a little bit old school, and I didn't want to have to drill any holes in the stock to put a sling or any of that kind of stuff in it. So what I've done is I went and I picked up, just because I want to get into doing it, I went and picked up a kit from Tandy. We got some belt strap material, some just, you know, scrap pieces, or not scrap pieces, but just some strap pieces of leather, and some Chicago nuts. And we're gonna make a gun strap, or a gun sling, for this 22.
I'm a whiskey drinking SOB. If you don't like that, then you won't like me. I'm an outlaw. I said I'm an outlaw.
Alright, so what we got here is, we've got this, what do we say here? It's a 43 piece deluxe carving kit from Tandy. It's got a couple of your basic tools for stamping and stuff like that in it. And it came with a belt kit, which is what I'm going to use for the sling. And it came with some bookmark pieces, which I'm going to use. Well, here's our belt kit, all rolled up here. And it came with these bookmark pieces that we're going to use for making the sling. So I'm going to take this piece and kind of get it a little bit on the flexible side. I'm going to go back and stamp it and dye it and all that stuff, but for right now we're just going to do the making of the sling itself. So we're going to wrap this around the back like this. My hand's in the way, y'all can't see. And we're going to take this one here. It's going to go around the bottom of the gun and come up and meet on the other side. So I'm going to cut it off. It's not going to be this length right here. So what I am going to do first, I'm going to take these. I'm going to listen to my dogs bark is what we're going to do. So I'm going to take these guys and I'm going to overlap them. I don't know if y'all can see them on the camera, but we've got them overlapped. I'm going to take the back of my X-Acto knife. Dogs. Alright, so what I've done is I've taken the back of the X-Acto knife and just thrown a little scribe on there, so that way I know exactly the width of the two pieces of leather. You see the scribe matches up with that, and we're going to do the same thing to this one here. Kind of like that. Again, take the back of the X-Acto knife, just a real light scribe, so we know where everything goes. Alright, there's our two pieces of leather. One's scribed a little bit more than the other, but there's our two pieces of leather. I'm going to go ahead and label my pieces on the back, so that way I know exactly what's what. This one we're going to call it butt, because it's going to go on the back of the butt, like so. This one here, we're going to call it lower. So there's our lower. I don't know if you can see the scribe line or not, but there's our scribe line. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to get in my handy dandy Tandy. Oops, throwing my leather pieces everywhere. You're going to have to bear with me because I really don't know what I'm doing. But I'm going to kind of eyeball, because this is handmade and it doesn't have to be perfect. I've got my my hole punch tool for the leather. We're going to put it right here. And basically send it on through. And we send it on through into the mat and into the table. Holy shit. Don't tell Melissa. That thing like making stuff by the seat of your pants. So I had this nice little piece of trim board left over from another project. We're gonna just cut off a piece of it and use it as a piece to do all this stamp work on. And there's my scribe line right there. So we're going to put this piece of leather right over the top of it, kind of get it as lined up as possible with our scribe line there. Mark where our punch hole goes and put our punch as close as we can get it on there. Voila, we've got a hole. So that's 2 holes, which is going to do this and this. This butt piece needs a hole on both sides, so we're going to do the exact same thing here. Kind of just line this guy up as best we can. Punch tool, mark a hole. Damn, I didn't mark a very good hole there. Kind of twist it a little bit to get it to get in the wood, or in the leather. And we've got 2 holes. So there's our 2 holes on our butt piece and our first hole on our bottom. So I picked up these cool little Chicago nuts that have a D-ring made into them. So that way if you want to take this all apart and get it off of here, you can. So there's our first Chicago nut where it belongs. All nice and cool looking. So let's take our piece of wood, put it over here out of camera. Let's move this stuff out of the way so we can get to it. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and put this on the back of the gun, like so. And everything needs to be centered up. So we're just going to take it. Once we get it halfway in the field for center, I'm going to bring this up here like this. And we want to leave us a little bit of slack in the bottom so we can get our strap under. And that's roughly right there where we want to cut. So now we're going to take this off of here. I'm going to set this gun over here on the side so it's not a damn way. Take our board back over here. And you can see there's where our cut line, scribe line is at with our cut. And we're going to cut across there with this X-Acto knife basically. Make us a nice little clean cut. And I didn't follow the scribe line worth a damn. So definitely going to have to work on my leathering tricks here. Now, this one's going to go here, here, and if I'm not mistaken, that's going to go just like that. Let's test fit it on the gun again. Ouch. Can't keep the gun nice if you keep banging it on the table. Outlaw. And that should be, it slid when I turned it to the camera. But anyways, that should be what we're looking for right about there. We want to have a little bit of slack in the bottom so that way we can take a mark where this hole's going to go. We're going to have a little bit of slack in the bottom so that way we can take and put our other strap through the bottom of it. So there's where that hole's going to go. Take this gun and set it up here on my legs. And we're going to take and line up our hole puncher with our indention and pop another hole. Our hole's popped out, it just didn't push all the way through. There we go, and we have a hole. So we're going to take our other, this is the lower, this is the butt, and we want the lower on top like this. So there's that. We're gonna take us another Chicago screw. Again, another D-ring Chicago screw. Push it through a hole, push it through our other hole, and tighten this guy up. I was kind of worried if these Chicago screws were going to have enough oomph to them, because we're going to have another piece of leather coming over the top, but it looks like it's going to be fine. All right, let's try it on here, see what we got. Pretty much exactly what I wanted it to have. The look I wanted to have there. So we're good there. Okay, so what I've got here is just an old belt of mine. What we're going to use it for is this nice pretty edge that's right here. We're going to transfer it over on this other piece of strap. So we're going to bring it up here like this. Touch this guy off in the center. Make sure we're 100% lined up. And then just take our X-Acto knife and cut as desired. Kind of matches up, but it kind of doesn't. The guy at Tandy told me you can use a piece of sandpaper to get the exact area that you want. So we'll be going back in and cleaning that up to make it look more like this. But I just wanted something to rough start with. So that's basically, hold on, I'll finish telling the story in a minute. But that's basically what we're gonna make right there to go around the back of this rifle. I'm just checking to make sure that everything fits the way that I want it to. Yeah, I think we're good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this Chicago nut loose, because this is the one to the inside, the one that's going to be, if you're right-handed, it's going to be closest to your cheek. Take it off, and we're going to line these guys up like this, and we're going to make us a hole right here. Take this one, put it on through, got us clean hole. Now we've got butt lower on this one. This is going to be our upper. Upper. So we've got the butt there. Wait, hold on, it's backwards. We got the butt there. No, we're still backwards. We got the lower. Okay. And we have the upper. And that's how we wanted it set together. We wanted the upper on the outside because it's going to be the prettier of the 3 pieces of leather. We're just going to take our Chicago nut, put it back through each layer of leather, like so. And trust me, folks, I'm flying by the seat of my pants. So if you do leather working and I'm doing something wrong, feel free to jump in and say something. Don't troll me, because I hate trolls, but just jump in and say something. So that's what we're hoping for right there. And then this guy is going to come around like this and buckle into there. And that's going to take care of the back end of our stock. So let's see what we got. So that pretty much makes it up right there. I'm going to use this last little piece of scrap right here. Well, I guess I can't because it doesn't have a hole in it. I'm going to take this Chicago nut back off, take my second layer off, and bend it over. And I'm going to put my hole about right there. gonna take this one around this way, like so. And like I said, later, this is the way it's gonna be on the gun, with the stock sitting in here like this and this coming around the top of the stock. Later, I'm gonna put a rivet on this side and get rid of the Chicago nut, just because if I can get a stainless rivet versus, you know, a brass one or something like that. I'm sure you can. I just want something that's gonna match these Chicago nuts. We're gonna bring this one in here like this, and pull a chunk of leather out of it, because the hole was misaligned. Put our Chicago nut back in, here like so. Tighten it up nice and tight. Flip the D-ring down, flip the D-ring down, and that's basically the back end of our sling. Hopefully it fits. Let's see what we got. Let's see if it'll dry slide on. It sure will. Without having to unbuckle it, it slides on perfect. So there we go, right there. There's our piece for our sling. It's going to be a little bit loose because the other one's going to come, the other piece that I've got is going to come down out of here in a loop and then run back up to the front of the gun. So there's the first piece right there. Thus far, I'm happy as hell. There we go. Now we're making some progress. Come all the way around. A little bit more. There we go. And we're gonna bring this. We're gonna pop a hole basically an inch here, an inch on this flat piece, and then slide it back, or an inch and a half, whatever the width of these straps are, and then slide it back, and then pop a hole on the other side. And that's how our sling's gonna hold from there. Then up in the front, at this point in time, I'm just gonna round out the leather and cut a hole in it for the barrel to slip over. Slide this back out of here. There we go. Take this Chicago nut loose. Yeah, we can't get loose there, so we're gonna have to slide it off. There we go. I'll get this gun out of the way again. So we're going to take this Chicago nut off here, set all the pieces over here so they don't get lost. Now we're going to take our belt strap and we're going to go right there to the edge and mark it at the back of the X-Acto knife. So we're not actually cutting it, we're just kind of scribing it. Okay. We're gonna give us a little bit of room. I'd say maybe a 1/8 of an inch. Scribe it again. A fly or something, a fly. And I just killed it, that was cool. And then we're gonna scribe it about another 1/8 inch up. Again. All right, so there we go. We got all that figured out. Now, take this here. We're gonna put a hole in it here. Tell you what, let's do it this way. We're gonna put a hole in it right there. Back out. We got a hole. Now we're gonna take this, put it in here. We're gonna flip this around to about right there. Smash that down so it'll get pliable and we can move it. And we're gonna punch a hole right I don't know if you can see or not, guys. There we go. This fly is just driving me nuts over here. We're gonna punch a hole right here. Alright, you dang fly. I don't know where the hell you came from, but you need to go the hell on. There we go. So, now we've got our two holes. They should coincide with each other like so. Just get out of here, fly. We're gonna get another package of Chicago nuts, get another Chicago nut out. We're gonna put our Chicago nut barrel through here. It's gonna go on the lower facing to the front, like so. Chicago nut. There we go. I finally got it seated in the place where it goes. All right, and then we're gonna put this piece here. Sorry guys, I'm doing this off camera because it's easier for me to do it in my lap than it was for me to do it on the table. There we go. We got the Chicago nut started. All right. This stupid fucking fly. Flip our D-ring down. And voila, we per se have a no drill. Okay. Not too much stuff all over the place here. It's not working right. Bam, we are in business. It's a little on the bulky side, I think, but once the leather breaks in, it won't be too bad, I don't believe. I don't know yet. We'll have to wait and find out. That's basically our rifle sling right there. So, like I said, I really don't know how I feel about it yet. I like it because, of course, I made it, but I don't know if possibly a lighter grade material would have been better here because this is thicker than this stuff. But thus far, I'm liking it. Alright, so what I've done up here for the front of the stock is I cut this really crude slot in it. But I'm going to take this little round shot glass thingy and I'm going to center it on this belt strap. And then I'm going to cut my belt. But thus far, this being my first project, I think I'm doing all right. There's a little bit on the rough sides here and there, but the dude over there at Tandy told me that I could take and run, you know, if you got a little extra or you got a weird crooked cut or something like that, run a piece of sandpaper over it. I don't know if he's right. I don't know if he's wrong, but we'll figure it out. Let's see how this turned out. All right, so there it is. I like the length. It's got a very nice feel to it lengthwise. Of course, the leather's all hard. I'm hoping we'll get it all broken in and it'll be a lot better. But everything's good about it. I like everything about it, with the exception of what I've done here on the very front. I don't like it at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to order one of those little barrel clamps that you put a swivel on and do a revision 2.0. I don't like it because when you look down sight, all you see is leather. So something's going to have to change up here in the front. Okay folks, so this is our pretty much finished product. I hit Tandy up today and picked up some more strap material and this cool little Texas flag concho here that I put onto the strap, and picked up some more of these Chicago nuts. So went ahead and finished this thing out. It's per se done. The only thing I need to do is bevel the edges and slick the edges, and then I'll move into the dyeing and staining process and carving and all that kind of stuff. So like I said, here's pretty much our finished product all the way up to the front. Give me a second, I'm going to turn the camera off and reposition. So up here in the front, I made it adjustable. We got 4 adjustment holes basically, and to give you a little bit longer sling if need be. The only thing that I don't have finished is I don't have a band clip here to hook the swivel to, but anyways, that's pretty much where it's going to go. So yeah, there it is. I don't know, I think I did a pretty decent job. You guys let me know what y'all think for doing it for a first time another project. Everything is per se 100% custom. This piece here was a 72-inch strap that I did all the work to it, and then these 3 pieces back here were part of my beginner's leather working kit. So you know, I got $9.99 in the strap and a couple of dollars in all the Chicago screws, and I think $5 in my Texas flag so far. So hell, I'm pretty happy with it. I'll do an update video later that has it completed, probably when we go to the range or something like that. You'll get to see it. I'll talk about it there. But that's pretty much it. Definitely got a couple of more leather projects in the future. I'm going to make myself a knife sheath. I'm going to make myself a belt. Already thinking about doing another sling that's a little bit more intricate with cartridge loops and all that kind of stuff. Maybe a combined up with a butt plate that's got cartridge loops in it. Something, I don't know. But definitely got a whole lot more projects in store. So if y'all liked seeing me walk through on this little project, then comment below and I'll post up some more. Alright guys, thanks for watching.